வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. Hi everybody. Welcome to the session on Master Vocation course on Yoga for Human Excellence. The title of the study is Foundations of Yoga, and we are going to study about the fifth unit of this. Let me introduce myself. I am Professor Dr. A. Hemamali, working as a guest lecturer in Vedatri Maharishi College of Yoga from the time of inception of the college. I'm also working as a guest lecturer in Anna University. I'm one of the coordinators for this MOOC. So welcome to the session. So what are all the doubts you will be having in the previous sessions? So actually you will be thinking that what is the effect of learning about the foundation of yoga, the gurus, the cleansing techniques, or the kriyas, all these things, how it is going to be effective for your job training. So we are going to clear all your doubts regarding this in this session of vocation course. And what is vocation course? By the end of the study, you are going to be learning and clarified on how yoga as a profession is going to help you. Who are all the Indian thinkers who supported vocational ideas? How we are going to get support from the government, what are all the certifications available in the government side, and what are all the new modern practices and scope for our education, and how to make the modern situation helpful to get or gain job opportunities. So, yoga as a vocational and professional discipline. This is the unit, vocational dimension of yoga, where you are going to see how your skill, service, and self-reliance is going to support you to gain your job opportunity in the current scenario. So, life calling is connecting the service with the profession. So, skill is an action in yoga, and yoga is not a practice, it's an applied wisdom. So what is exactly vocational education? It's an education aimed at employment and self-sufficiency. That is, self-sufficiency is using your own knowledge, your source, without depending on anyone else. So it's going to integrate your knowledge, skill, and your ethical values. So the agenda is Introduction to Vocational Education. Yoga has evolved into a rewarding career path that integrates personal passion towards yoga with a commitment to serve the whole society. It also involves training, certification, and diverse opportunities in the field of yoga and how to get a fulfillment in the livelihood. This field is so dynamic, it requires constant and continuous studies or education, which is done with the help of workshops and getting certifications in advanced studies like prenatal, postnatal, therapy-based education like giving solutions to diabetic, hypertension, PCOD, PCOS, kids yoga, and so on. So vocational education is so important because it is going to reduce the unemployment situation in our country. It's going to encourage your entrepreneurship in you. It's going to develop as a discipline and responsibility towards the individual. So it's going to align your education with the real life situations. So your vocational training prepares a student to become a yoga teacher, therapist, or a wellness coach, which is a need for this present community. So vocational education integrates your skill, knowledge, and values. So, yoga has evolved as a global profession because employment opportunities in youth is in need. It's going to support us in creating a wellness tourism which is good for the economics of our country. It's going to improve and bring a cultural diplomacy with all the countries around us. It's going to show a growth in research by showing the difference before and after doing or practicing a yoga session. So we still have so many positiveness, still we have so many lack of awareness or challenges. So there is a awareness lacking in the professions, and we are in need of a good trained faculties in this field, and standardizing the education or profession is a great issue here. So each and every profession who are following vocational education as yoga needs ethics and service. Ethics means avoiding your own ego, showing your focus on your inner growth, respecting your own tradition, which has to be holded in each and every second of our life, and staying calm without showing showmanship. So we should be humble enough to handle the sessions so that it will be reached to the each and one of us from the ground level also. So many institutions are supporting yoga, like Moraji Desai University, Delhi, S. Vyasa University from Bangalore, and Ayush Ministry, and so on. So there is a gap in between the profession and the livelihood. That gap is getting bridged by the vocational education in yoga. So the students has to gain experience by teaching small groups, volunteers, and get the knowledge by assisting great teachers or professors. So the thinkers, especially the Indian thinkers, viewed work as a worship. Your work becomes spiritual practice, and your workplace becomes a field of self-growth and your service path. So vocational education in the context of yoga. So how yoga acts as a karma yoga and profession. For this we have so many slokas from the text and Bhagavad Gita, especially Yogastha kur karmani sangam tetva dhananjaya siddha siddhyo mahabhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. It's from 2.48 of Bhagavad Gita chapter, which says, O Arjuna, do your duty and free yourself from the attachment of success or failure. Such awareness of mind is exactly yoga. And once again in 2.50 sloka, yoga karmanchu kaushalam, working skillfully with pure awareness and consciousness is said to be yoga. So shift your mind from what I am getting through this and how I can help make this situation better for the person who learn it. Cultivate self-awareness and self-study, that is Svadhyaya, according to Patanjali Sutra, is good for our personal as well as your professional growth. So identifying career opportunities by learning continuously to improve your own self-study. And so many situations helps us to get good institutions to help us to study more about this education. How to apply vocational values in yogic practice involves like concepts like mindfulness, self-discipline, how your service is going to guide a person in a workplace, how to take a good decision making, and how to maintain your own relationship in a good manner in a workplace. All these are a need in each and every platform of life. So we will move to the meaning of vocational education. It has the vocation word is derived from the Latin word vocare, is said to call, a life calling for service and profession. This education is aimed at self-reliance and employability, relying one's own knowledge, powers, resources, and not using anyone's ability. So it's a combined moral responsibility and practical skill of a student. So we are the one who are being accountable for our own actions and reactions. So every time we have to act consciously, which is going to build our character, discipline, and responsibility. According to UNESCO, vocational education is an education designed to prepare an individual for a gainful employment in his own profession or occupation and to develop a technical and professional skill in it. So, vocational education in yoga is going to help an individual to improve his practical skills, improve his critical thinking and analysis, and to get a confident move to serve the society. It also going to train an individual to become a yoga instructor, therapist, or a researcher in near future. It's going to help to integrate yogic knowledge with the practical fields like health care, wellness centers, education institutions, and for the development of the society. So how we are going to use this education as a profession service? So 10 to 15% of the people do not work with an awareness. 90% do not accurately understand how they impact others around them by their own behavior. So a behavior change is possible with the help of yogic practice. So self-awareness is your superpower in your workplace. So try to improve it by practicing yoga. And being a professional of yoga, you may happen to set up a yoga studio. For this, you have to see a proper location where you can have a studio, and you have to get the legal registration of your logo and how you are going to target the audience around you. And especially, is there any competitive courses or classes around it? All these things has to be noticed prior to start a yoga studio. So we'll move and get the blessings from the Indian thinkers on work and education. The first one, and this is Mahatma Gandhi ji, who said, Naitali. It's nothing but education through work. He says, learning by doing, learning while earning, which means it's a basic education integrating productive crafts like spinning, carpentry, with the academic subject to teach the students. So he says we have to do it with head, hand, and heart, which leads to a self-employment or self-sufficiency. When you move to Sri Aurobindo, he follows integral education, which gives an internal as well as your outer development, which is a need for our own self. So integral education focus on the holistic development, that is your body, mind and your spirit, which leads your personal as well as the societal evolution. We then move to the next thinker of education and work. It's Rabindranath Tagore ji, who followed creativity and nature plays a vital role in this. Education for self-realization and harmony with nature is his motto. That's why he has created Shantiniketan, which is filled with harmonizing oneself with nature, labor, and creativity. We now move to our own Guru Vedatri Maharishi, who has emphasized on value-based education. He merged everything, that is yoga, science, social science, which deals with the spirituality with scientific evidence. So we get good support from the government for this yoga profession. Ministry of Ayush is promoting yoga education to the core. Ministry of Ayush, that is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, promotes yoga education. It was founded in 2014 to make yoga as a complementary medicine. So training mode with 200 hours, 400 hours, 800 hours are being classified as classes so that people who want to study yoga as a profession can get good education from Ministry of Ayush. So the main aim of Ministry of Ayush is to regulate yoga education and availability of teacher with good background and skillfulness. It promotes certification, which is recognized globally. So Ayush Wellness Center, National Ayush Mission, Ayush Entrepreneurship Scheme 2020, research grants, yoga parks, and public programs, all these get full help from the Ministry of Ayush. So community colleges makes a vast help in promoting yoga. So the role of community colleges or training is making the student accessible, affordable, local reliance, employable, and social upliftment. So yoga certification board comes under this Ayush, which has so many courses with varying hours of study. It starts from 3 months to 1 year. So your YCB level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are available. And according to the need of the student, they can study any one of the course according to their education qualification. There's a benchmark for the education qualifications to study these levels of education in yoga. So Skill India has so many organizations under it like NSDC, MSDE, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, which promotes job opportunity and orientation training. SSC, Sector Skill Council. HSSC, Health Sector Skill, and National Occupational Standards NOS. All these comes under the Ayush Ministry, which is promoting yoga education. Skill India Mission was launched in 2015, which targeted to train over 40 crores people in the Indian traditional yoga before the end of 2025 for their wellness and health improvement. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yoga scheme offers short-term courses including yoga instructor course, yoga teacher training, and assistant yoga therapist with a duration of 3 months to 1 year of study. So recently, WHO released a booklet this month, that is December 2025, for a proper protocol to follow to teach yoga globally in a universal or uniformity manner. So Udyamita scheme, which is supporting an individual who is a yoga trainer to set up an individual independent studio or a yoga center. So modern and mass yoga practices. We conduct so many modern methods and mass yoga practices in and around to make the people aware of the health and the improvement of health in their body through yoga. So chair yoga, office yoga is the latest one where the space is not enough to practice yoga. In the official setup, they can practice with the help of a chair alone. Even when a person is not able to move due to their age or due to their wear and tear of their health, they can practice yoga by sitting on a chair. In between an official meetings, even the office persons can practice yoga without taking much time, without disturbing their own work in the workplace. So we can conduct mass yoga demonstrations, which shows that so many people are practicing yoga for their wellness. We can give our contribution to our Indian culture by mass yoga demonstrations. So how to conduct it? We have to get the prior permission from the ministry so that we can conduct the mass yoga demonstrations. So we can conduct yoga competitions, which is going to improve the discipline of the participants and the demonstrative skill of a person, and it is going to improve their ethics during the performance, which in turn is going to avoid their ego and showmanship. This way their inner growth is going to happen at any moment. So yoga is going to be both a livelihood as well as a life path. You can use YouTube, Zoom apps to promote yoga. So Indian yoga has become a global one with the help of our Pradhan Mantri, who has taken this yoga to the international level. International Day of Yoga, June 21st, was announced in UNO, United Nations General Assembly in 2014, December 11th, as International Day of Yoga, which is said to be the longer day of summer. So the future scope of study leads us to the online yoga education, research integration with complete international delegates or countries to help us. Yoga is once again is said to be a livelihood for your future. So aerial yoga is the one where a fabric is connected to the ceiling of the room or a silk swing where the practitioner is suspended in the swing and he can do any type of practice with an ease. So the people will feel like a child in a cradle so that they can perform the yogic practices with very lightness and they can demonstrate or practice any type of yoga, even it is very hard to practice. The end of this learning, we have come to know what is vocational yoga, what is karma yoga, what is maitalim, how yoga is related to our work. And you can list, anyone can list any two institutions which are supporting yoga education. Yes, correct. Moraji Desai, National Institute of Yoga, Delhi. Yes, one more. Yes, Bihar School of Yoga, Munjer. And someone else can add on to these answers. Yes, one by one. Right. Vyasa University, Bangalore, and Yoga Institute in Mumbai. Yes, correct. You're right. Kaivalya Dhamma Yoga Institute at Lonavala. So to summarize this, we have seen about role of Ayush, how yoga is a successful profession, what are all the modern practices in the field of yoga, how you can get a job opportunity through practicing yoga, what are all the setups available, what are all the funding institutions available under the Ministry of Ayush, everything you have discussed. So you can refer Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Sri Aurobindo's Human Cycle. You can go through works of Mahatma Gandhi and Sri Aurobindo as well as Rabindranath Tagore. You can go through so many publications that are available in the Ayush publication. Happy learning. Thank you. Practice yoga with awareness. When your work is guided by wisdom, it becomes worship. It's a saying of our Guru Vedatri Maharishi. Learn with a purpose, serve with compassion, be blessed by the divine.